Xbox has some crazy and shocking controllers, like this huge one, to this masterpiece one, to this okay one, to just a more rougher one. But what about these weird ones, like this Kinect, another Kinect, and adaptive controller? Well, we're gonna find this out in today's video, so I hope you enjoy this. Hello there guys, my name is SpongeBob2012 and welcome to my channel. Xbox One fans, get ready on what I'm gonna say because I do not like this controller. The controller is not that good. I mean, it has like a camera. Well, technically, what it does is that it doesn't use a controller. It uses you. Yes, you are the controller. And you control the games. As cool as this might sound, it's a big problem. But it's not really a big problem if you do like it. It was made, of course, to compete with the garbage. No, no, no. Of course, it's the amazing Wii remote. I have no script, of course. But what about the games? Well, that's actually a big problem. There is only 5 Xbox One Kinect games that I only have one to show. Kinect Sports Rivals. This is the worst one in the series. You know what? I am done talking about this. Let's move on to our next one.
Bruh.
Just look at it. Why is this thing so fucking large? Like, it made no sense for it to be that large. It's so dumb. Like, would you even like buy this nowadays? Like, on how huge that is? I mean, I used this controller when I had the original Xbox. Yes, this was a controller that came with my OG Xbox, and I actually liked it. But nowadays, I changed my mind. It's way too huge. I really like the detail with the oval buttons, the big Xbox logo. That's literally does nothing. The Microsoft logo, the analog sticks are a different style. The D-pad just feels like an analog stick. I just don't know why this thing is. I don't know what to even say on why this thing is so huge. You know what? I'm done talking about. Let's just go to the next one. Ha! That's better. Most of the parts from the two are there, like the black and white buttons, which they're so stupid. The Microsoft logo is unfortunately gone. The buttons are now just circles. The analog sticks are luckily now in the same shape. But thankfully, it's not huge. It's actually not huge. Like what was Microsoft even doing with the Duke? Yes, that controller called the Duke. The small one is called the controller S. Now, there are some wacky things with the S. Like, why are the start and select buttons there instead of the middle? And why is the D-pad still the same but with a better style? And, of course, why are the black and white buttons still there? That's because they're actually shoulder buttons. Sadly. So, what should you do with it? Well, this is gonna always come with the original Xbox if you buy it new. So, if you buy new, just make sure you're actually gonna get this controller and not this controller. This is the Xbox One adaptive controller. A smart idea. Now, it looks like a DJ set, of course, but it is actually really creative. If you don't know, this is for people who has disabilities, which means they aren't that good using an actual controller. But there's something special about the adaptive controller. If we look at the sides, you can plug in a whole range of add-ons. Big buttons usually. And these will usually help your playthrough. These two big buttons that you are looking at are actually buttons. And of course, you got your D-pad And with the plugins that you can use if you have disabilities, this leads with one of the most smartest controllers of all time. That even got on the Time magazine. So if you have disabilities, you can easily use this controller. Easy. Now we are getting into the good things. With the Xbox 360 Kinect. Now some people say this is actually worse than the Xbox One Kinect. But, you know, I think they're right because, well, technically, it's bulkier, I know, but it's less powerful. But what I say, come on, this was released on a much older console. The Xbox One has a better Kinect because it's a much newer console, while the Xbox 360 is a much older console. So, why should you think the Xbox 360's Kinect worse than the Xbox One Kinect? Because the best thing are the games. There are a lot of Xbox 360 Kinect games. Kinect Sports is one of the biggest games, but if you ask me, the biggest one is Kinect Adventures, which is not only the biggest Kinect game, but also the best-selling game on the Xbox 360. Yes, it's the best-selling game on the Xbox 360. And the games are really fun. I also really like the Kinect, how you can get fit with it. It was made, of course, I repeat again, to compete with a Wii Remote. But now we're actually going to go to the good stuff with... If you try to make a really good controller for the Xbox Series S, but you put rough textures on it, you get a bad controller. Okay, I am not a fan of the Xbox Series S/X controller because it has rough textures. There's also no details on this thing. I mean, the D-pad is great. The sticks are... they're not so good. The buttons smash terribly. The Xbox logo is great. It's not big like before, and will bring you to the home menu. But what does this mysterious third button do? It lets you record or take pictures. That's right, they put a capture button on this thing. But there are still some advantages, because it actually has haptic feedback. Yes, this has haptic feedback. I really like that. And so the trigger buttons are amazing. They're analog. But why is this controller so unbelievably rough? I don't know, but I would just prefer using a PlayStation 5 controller, which I don't even own a fucking PlayStation 5. Help me, God! Ha! That's better. Now, it is technically Xbox Series S controller, but now there's no more rough textures. I mean, it is older. And I'm a fan of the Xbox One controller. I mean, it has a great D-pad, making it amazing for 2D platformers like Cuphead. The sticks are in great condition. And the buttons, although they're like the same as Series S, they're more clickier, I guess. One of the biggest changes is the triggers. They're, of course, haptic feedback and pretty much analog, but they're more comfortable than the Series S. And it's overall so much better than the Series S controller. Luckily, you can use it on the Xbox Series S, but it's kind of uncomfortable still. But what's better is... how did Microsoft crush it on a Pro controller? I mean, this is Series 1. We can't put number 1. But man, these sticks feel amazing. The color is really, really good. I'm a big fan of the controller. And I also like the short buttons and the triggers. All haptic feedback. If we look at the side, we can see back buttons. But that's not all. It comes in this really cool hard case. And when we open it, we can see a lot of accessories which can be used on a controller. For example, one of the biggest changes is a crazy D-pad. But if you don't like it, you can swap it out. Though I prefer the crazy D-pad. You can even swap the concave analog stick with a convex, and it's more comfortable with a convex. You can adjust the field of triggers and put back buttons on this thing. I'm not a huge fan of the back buttons, but hey, it's nice that they are on this. So, Xbox Elite Series 1 controller, amazing controller. I just wish there was more going for it. Well, there is actually Series 2. I might mention it because it's technically the same thing, but with more things, better grips, and it would actually be number 1 if it wasn't. And now, the moment you have been waiting for. Number 1. How did Microsoft crush it with the freaking Xbox 360 controller? This is not only the most comfortable controller I ever hold from Microsoft, but it's also the most comfortable controller I ever hold in my entire life. The shape is just right, it's pretty dang heavy, and the buttons match amazing. Speaking of buttons, look at these details, they're all bold and colory. And that's so much better than what the hell they were doing with the newer controllers. I mean, there's no back buttons, but it's too elite, I guess. Since this second controller, I can see that the big Xbox logo from the first controller has been replaced with something completely different. It can boot up the menu. It will show ranks, which will tell what player you are. The triggers are amazing. They're analog, of course. The triggers are really good. The sticks are my personal favorite ever that I ever held. The D-pad, well, it was criticized a lot, but luckily, if you are lucky like me, you can get a better D-pad. I own the better D-pad, so unfortunately I did get worse sticks, but luckily I did get better D-pads. Okay. Why is this perfect? Well, it has amazing rumble, and it has... No. I just can't help anymore. I have no script. I have no more ideas. I think I'm just gonna be ending the video now. Well, that was pretty strange. But whatever. Xbox controllers will always be my favorite. And hey, Xbox is making a new console, so maybe the next controller might be better than the 360 controller. Now, you'll need to go crazy with controllers. But if you want the best of best, it doesn't get better than the Xbox 360 controller. Or the Xbox Series Elite 2 Pro Extreme Awesome Controller. Okay, that was the most stupidest thing I ever said.